Well, the time is just gone 8:38 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning, and we are taking a look today, being December the 9th, and International Anti-Corruption Day is commemorated annually on the 9th of December in recognition of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, and this was signed in Mexico in 2003. Now, present at an event on this day, on Anti-Corruption Day 2022, is senior journalist and editor Mopeng Valencia Talani. Mopeng, good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Inayat, and thank you very much for having me.
Yes, wonderful you're able to join us, and clearly it is appropriate today being Anti-Corruption Day. But looking at the event where you are at this point in time, and we know that fighting corruption is a global concern, but South Africa, we know it's become a priority because we've just been basically fed with corruption after corruption after corruption, Moipeng.
That's very true. We are one of the most affected countries in the world, and organizations such as ourselves work in this space have over the years come to realize the impact of cost across all the levels of government on the economy, on service delivery, on even human rights. So a very important day for us to pause and reflect, look at where the country is, how far it's come in the fight against corruption, and what still needs to happen, and what impact needs to be realized for us to achieve an anti-corruption state.
Yes. Now, looking at where we are at this point in time, and we always say that for corruption to take place, and I know a lot of focus is on government and on the public sector, but it is also about the involvement of the private sector, and this is important because where you have someone who is being corrupted, you need a corruptor and a corruptee, for want of a better term, Mopeng.
Absolutely. One doesn't survive without the other. It's the context that was so elaborately put in front of us by the State Capture Commission that ran for 4 years. It put it quite blatantly in front of us that indeed the practice has been complicit in not only participating in corruption, but regulatory bodies within the private sector have also updated by not doing the work that they were supposed to your auditors, your banking sector, and the likes. So you're correct, very much correct in that summary. Indeed, the two work very closely together. I'm not sure that one generally influences the other, but the participants are always indeed the public and the private sector.
Yes. Now, we know that in South Africa, Moipeng, corruption is one of the major priorities of the government. But at this point in time, and on a day like this, when one looks at anti-corruption advocates engaging the general public, looking at how effective the fight against corruption is, we seem to be making very little progress, despite this being a priority, because until now, and the general sentiment is it's all talk and no action, and no one seems to be walking the talk.
Hello?
Yes, Moipeng. Sorry, we lost you there for a
I,
minute.
I lost you there for a second.
Okay, do you want me to repeat what I said?
I have an idea where you were going with the question, and if I may, I would perhaps point out that I think one of the big problems in South Africa is how the corruption or anti-corruption, the fight against corruption is politicized to the extent that, as you have seen over the past few days, our president being embroiled in the scandal that he is in, and yet came into office on an anti-corruption ticket back in 2018. It certainly gave members of the public some hope that what will be done about corruption and that institutions that he is establishing in his term in office will indeed make the inroads that we've been needing to see for years. However, because of the politics that are involved in the space, we are seeing, and it's not to say that he is innocent or guilty for that matter, but nevertheless, the institutions that have to find such of him are still at work, and we still have to figure out or not our president has a case to answer through the democratic processes that are in place. So our job is to basically celebrate those democratic systems and processes, and a potential impeachment process, and of course our judiciary as well. So we are not in the, but some progress has been, especially for civil society organizations like ourselves, doors that used to be closed to us that need to open to us, and we're being invited to partner with government departments and other institutions to perhaps find the most pragmatic and most practical solutions to the big monster that is corruption in our country.
Yes, and the event that you are at today, what is expected at the event?
So for one, the president is on the program. I suppose more than anything, to get some sense of where the leadership of government is taking place and to what extent the public will be to participate in whatever major drive against corruption will be implemented. I'm hoping, from a civil society point of view, once again, that there'll be a strong message on whistleblower protection, because without whistleblowers, we are not able to eradicate, publicize, or expose corruption at the rates that we should, so that those institutions that are supposed to investigate it and regulate the public sector can do their work. So, big ticket for me would be a message from him, from the president, on whistleblower protection and how intense the implementation plan for that is going to be.
Well, let's see what develops. We certainly will follow the story, but for now, we thank you for taking time out and talking to us this morning. All the best to you, Moipeng.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having me.
Moipeng Valencia Telani with us this morning, commemorating International Anti-Corruption Day 2022. She is at the event in Pretoria. The time is just gone 8:46 a.m. When we come back, it's time for Juma Inspirations. We'll be joined by Administrator at the Jamiatul Ulama Qatar Natal, Maulana Abdullah Khan.